Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison today, and today we have Monarch 7.5 on 1429 rating versus Burnt Toast Theory on 1374 rating. So both duelists really high rated, both in the top 100 and quite well established up there. Let's see how this one goes. So opening hands are Jinzo, Crow, Soul Exchange, Econ and Battle Fader. This is something. Miracle Fusion, Equal, Salvage, Rota, Ocean and MST. Okay, this looks like some kind of hero frog build, but it's interesting to see Salvage in there. Okay, going to start with Equal for Stratos. Mali, the choice there. Yeah, going to set the MST and pass. Draw for turn on this side is a Caius. Wow, Caius Soul Exchange is nice. Choosing just to forego it though. Draw for turn is a Swap Frog. Swap Frog coming down now. It's a special summon, Pitching Ocean, dumping the Subsitoad. Then they're going to salvage back the Ocean and the Subsitoad. Oh yeah, hitting a big think from Monarch there. Yeah, and they're going to Crow the Subsitoad. Yeah, they do still get the Ocean though, which is nice. Swap Frog getting in now. That's going to get met with a Battle Fader. They're going to bounce back the Swap Frog and pass. Yeah, if this Ocean survives, it's pretty good, but I don't think it's going to. Draw for turn there is an Econ. Yeah, they're going to Econ, take the Stratos, use the Stratos for a Jinzo, get into the Ocean. Yeah, it feels like a really good trade. Feels like a really good trade with the Fader. Sets the Econ, and that's going to get hit with the MST. Yep. Okay, this is nice. Draw for turn is a Subsitoad there. Okay. They're going to Rotor out for another Ocean now. Yeah, this gives them full frog combos. So they're going to use the Ocean to special summon the Swap Frog. And then the Subsitoad. Yep. Full frog combo. Miracle Fusion now. Yeah, this brings out Ab-Zero. Yeah, Ab-Zero with 35 is pretty huge. Swap Frog. Subsitoad, wrong order, but it'll do. Then they're going to use the Swap Frog for the dupe. One more dupe. Yeah, I was going to say I'd probably... No? Okay, just a misclick. Okay, yeah, I'd have probably done a double dupe. I just would have felt maybe slightly better protected. Okay, draw for turn there is a Subsitoad of their own. Yeah, they've got a decision to make now. Because you've got Subsitoad or Caius to use with this Soul Exchange. You kind of have to use it. But yeah, they've also just got Tribute for Mali, which you know about because they added this to hand. So yeah, how do you play through this? This one feels kind of over already. Yes, they're just going to rinse through the Frog Engine. Yep. Yep. Okay, flip-flop. Okay, no. Still going. Dupe, double dupe, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, this just feels horrible though, right? Because you know they've got Mali. Okay. So, True One coming out now. Future Fusion, dumping Ocean, and Fishball Blaster. Yep. Okay, yeah, choosing to leave this up for now. I guess there's no real harm just yet. So, True One Frog coming out. And they're just going to pass it there. Yeah, this is a massive Ab-Zero right now. This is what? 5,000? Huge. Okay, draw for 10 there is Salvage. Salvage is pretty good here. Yeah, you can have the Subsitoad and a hero. So Subsitoad, yeah, using Treeborn for Death Frog. Yep. Then bringing out Fishborg with Death Frog for Brio. Yeah. Brio can pitch, get back one of those Dupe Frogs. And then they can use, yeah, Subsitoad for Swap Frog here. Yeah, so Brio can go in. Yeah, but you can't actually destroy it here. You needed to get rid of your own Subsitoad first. Yeah, so Subsitoad has this effect that frog monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. It doesn't say your frog monsters. So yeah, this is all still good. They can't get through it this way. They need to yeah, they need to get their own Subsitoad off field first, which we thought they were going to do, but clearly not. Yeah, main two, they're going to Brio back. The other one, set up their own Duplock and pass. Yeah, but Toast Theory. Yeah, realising their mistake there. A little bit unfortunate. Okay. Passing over now, draw for turn is Braincon. Yeah, they've got options here. Braincon take Ab-Zero. Yeah, use it for Kai's. Kai's banish the future fusion. Lose their monsters, but yeah, have they got another Substitoad in deck for this 1-1? No, they don't. Okay. Okay, pass. Draw for turn is Avarice. Wow, what a huge draw. What a huge draw. Okay. Yeah, Avarice now. Substitoad, Desfrog, Swap Frog, Dupe Frog, and Brio. Okay, let's see what they pick up. Trying to change it? Okay, whatever. Picks up double Moray. That is unfortunate. Draw for turn there is a Riser. Okay, yeah, Burnt Toast Theory must be a little tilted right now after that. After not realising the Substitoad effect would still be in effect. Okay, draw for turn there is 1/1 pass. Draw for turn is Fader. Yeah, this is a double dupe block now. This is nice, even though they're both in attack. Draw for turn is Polly. Okay. Burnt Toast Theory is playing a weird version of this deck. I mean, I like it, but it is strange. Draw for turn there is a Jinza. Yeah, they're going to put their frogs to defense. Pass. Draw for turn is a dupe frog. Mally now for a Mally. Yep, and they can Polly here. Yeah, this is nice. This is really nice for another Ab-Zero. That is a huge Ab-Zero. Draw for turn is a Riser. Yeah, pass. Draw for turn is a Swap Frog. Okay, they have got Moray now. Yep. So I can put those two back. Draw Unifrog, King of the Swamp, and Dupe Frog. Can Moray again. Yep. Draws Polly and Des and Heavy Storm. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate they couldn't put... They didn't put this back. But yeah, I understand why they definitely can't foretell they're going to draw the other Polly. Okay, going to Polly now for an Ab-Zero. That's going to get rid of all the monsters. Yeah, you're fine with those pickups. The real worry here is the Fader. Because the Fader is going to stop you this turn. 1/1, bring out the Fishborg. Yep. Desfrog. Yep. I'm going to try and get in now, and that's just, yeah, I was going to say, they've tried to boost this up as high as they possibly can to make it like one attack in through Gauze, but yeah, it's just not enough. Fader's going to come down now. Yeah, they're going to use all three of those for a Stardust. Pass it back, draw for turn as a Gauze. Okay, this is a real game. Treebon coming out now. Going to set the flip-flop. Pass, yeah, flip-flop's really good with Stardust up. Treebon coming out now. Yeah, so Unifrog coming out as well. Unifrog can get into the Treebon or direct, but they've chosen into the Treebon. Flip-flop going to bounce back. Yep. Stardust going to get in. Yeah, it's going to trigger the Gauze now. Yeah, you've got a decision to make on this side, right? You can't... You've got access to a level 6. But that doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything because you wouldn't have a card in hand. Yeah, and you did put the Brio back, which is good. Yeah, okay. Draw for turn is a Soul Exchange there. Treebon Frog coming out. Riser going to spin back the dupe. Yeah, get all this in attack. Gauze can get through the Stardust, and yeah, Burnt Toast Theory is going to admit defeat. Yeah, it's really turn that around. I think I thought Monarch was done, basically. But yeah, a couple of missteps by Burnt Toast Theory, and all of a sudden it was all to play for. Okay, game 2, hands are Gear Frame. Okay, maybe a bit of a smokescreen Machina side. Treebon, Flip-Flop, Soul Exchange, and Swap Frog. They've got 1/1 Miracle, Moray, Polly, Equal, and Mally. This is a weird hand, but the Equal does kind of carry here. Yeah, so Equal for Stratos, add Ocean to hand. Yep, and pass. Draw for turn is another copy of Soul Exchange. Gear Frame coming down, adding Fortress now. I wonder if they're even playing enough machines to make this work. We did see Jinzo, but that's a bit strange. Swap Frog special summoning out by pitching Treebon and dumping the other Treebon. Going to bounce the Gear Frame back, summon out the Flip-Flop and set it. Okay, draw for turn is a Kaiku this side. Yep. Yeah, this was summoned out. No idea why in attack. And Monarch is picking that up as well. It's nice to see these players kind of like, even at this level, they do make little missteps, but they recognise it, and hopefully, you know, that helps them improve for next time. So yeah, Kaiku is going to get rid of both of those Treeborns. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. I mean, the 2 Soul Exchanges in hand are kind of going to replace the Treeborns, sort of. But yeah, that is a really huge pickup for that Kaiku. And the Stratos is going to go in now. Yeah, choose what you put back, but it's got to be the Kaiku. 1 for 1 now. Pitch the Mally, bring out the Substitoad. Yeah, this is nice. Yep. Full Frog combo now. Yeah, ending on just 1 dupe. Okay, they didn't rinse their deck as much as I was expecting them to, but that's fine. Pick up return on this side is a Caius. Caius does break this lock. Yes, they're going to use the Substitoad, banish the dupe, pass it over. Draw for turn is an Avarice. And this is kind of why I expected them to do like a much bigger frog combo, just to make the Avarices and stuff a bit more live. But then I guess they've got Moray of Greed, so they wouldn't mind drawing a water here. Okay, Treeborn, going to Mally for Mally. Yeah, and then they can Poly here. Yeah, they're using the Ocean from hand, which is interesting. I guess that is going to help fuel the Moray, the Avarice, sorry. Yeah, Avarice now. Going to put back Substitoad, Swap Frog, Substitoad, Stratos, and Ocean. Yeah, this is nice. Just draw them up. Salvage and Avarice. Now they've got... Oh, have they got enough waters? No, they don't. I was going to say, Salvage into Moray now would be also pretty good. Miracle Fusion now. Yeah, they can make another Ab-Zero. Yep. Kaiku coming out. So that is... Yeah, this is, what, 3,000 at the minute? Yeah. Yeah, so 18. And then another 3,000. Okay. It's a lot of commitment. Yeah, I guess you're just trying to run them down. You know they've got Gearframe Fortress in hand. There's only 1 unknown card in hand. I guess you are just trying to run them down, but this just feels like a lot of commitment into the board. Quite, like, without game, basically, is what I'm trying to get to. I feel like I would like to have seen them not do this until they've got a game shot. Okay. Substitute the pickup for turn there. They're going to exchange the Kaiku. Yeah, this can get them into a dupe lock. Yeah, they're going to go for the double dupe. Nice. Okay, pass. Draw for turn is another copy of Moray. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. This deck's really cool, though, by Burnt Toast Theory. I do think it's really cool. But there are just a lot of spells. A lot of, like, conditional spells. Okay, pick up for turn was a Battle Fader there. That will be helpful later. Going to summon out the Substitoad this side. Yeah, for the Swap Frog. That's going to get rid of the dupes. Ooh, rough. Yep. And Swap Frog dump that Substitoad as well. So they're going to add back Swap Frog. Yeah, they're going to go for a Swap Frog here. Yeah, I mean, this would be game without the Fader. Fader has been really clutch this match. Yep, I'm going to try and get in now. Fader coming down. Main 2. Yeah, they need to rip through this and resolve an Avarice for some bomb cards, right? Or, yeah, Salvage into Moray is also good. Yeah, that's a good point. So Salvage, yep. Then we're going to Moray, put back the swaps. Draw Swap Frog, Heavy Storm, Vanity's Fiend. They have used their normal summon, I think. Okay, yeah, gonna Moray again, Raigeki Break, Rotor, and Miracle Fusion. Okay, that's good enough. Probably good enough, right? Sets the Raigeki Break now. Brings out another Swap Frog. Swap Frog dump Substitoad, bounce back. Yeah, I think that just gives you 5. Yeah, or more than 5. Engrave for the Avarice next turn. Okay, pick up on this side is Caius now. They're gonna Caius, hit the Ab-Zero. Yeah, destroy their own Caius. Then they're going to pitch the gear frame, summon out the fortress, and get into this dupe frog. That's going to get met with the Raigeki Break, pitching the swap frog. Yeah, and Monarch has seen enough there. Yeah, I mean, we also saw Vanity's Fiend and another Ab-Zero in their future. So, yeah, totally reasonable. Okay, Burnt Toast Theory going to start us off. Monarch going to start us off in game 3. Open hands, Fiend, Poly, Raigeki Break, Swap Frog, King of the Swamp. And they've got Swap Frog, Braincon, Riser, Crow, Substitoad, and Swap Frog. Crow is good to see. That might help them with some of the Miracle Fusion potential. Swap Frog dump Swap Frog, special summon out, dump Treeborn. Substitoad now, going to do full Frog combo. Yep. Yeah, I think you absolutely rip through it all here. Yeah, into a double dupe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you've seen how explosive your opponent's deck is. Draw for turn, there's a Raigeki break. Okay, we're going to swap frog, dump out the Treeborn, bounce back, sets the Raigeki break and passes. Draw for turn is a Caius. Okay, Treeborn frog coming out now in standby. It's going to get me up with Riser. Riser's going to attempt to try and spin that back, but they are going to Raigeki break, pitch the King of the Swamp, and get rid of the Riser. Yeah, okay, that feels good. Ooh, pick up a turn as a 1-for-1. That's not bad. That is not bad. Yeah, pitch the Swap Frog, bring out the Substitute. This gives you full frog combo. Swap Frog, dump sub. Swap Frog, dump sub. Bring out Dupe Frog. Bring out Dupe. Yep. Yeah, I would have maybe liked to see them. Okay, maybe they have ripped through all the frogs they have. They're not playing like Unifrog, etc., which they're probably not with all the spell cards they're playing. Yeah, okay, this feels fine. Sets the Raigeki break, passes. Draw is Battle Fader, has entered again. Let's see if it makes a difference this game as well. They're going to tribute the Treeborn for the Kais, get rid of one of the dupes and get into the other one. Yeah, it's going to let them pick up a frog now. They're going to choose swap. Pass. Okay, draw for turn is the King of the Swamp. Yeah, okay. King of the Swamp's going to add Poly. Pass it back. Yeah, they're stuck under their own Raigeki break. I wonder if the play there was Raigeki break the... It's tough because these two do just crash. Yeah, okay, I think this is fine. Kai's going to get in now. That's going to do 24 and pass. Draw for turn is an Avarice. That is very live. That is a very live Avarice. I wonder if now they also Raigeki break one of the dupe frogs, just, you know, on the basis that if they put some of this stuff back and draw two, they're probably going to have combo with a Treeborn frog up. Yeah, I think this is what I'd be doing. Okay, they're going after the Caius instead though, which is interesting. Okay, they're bringing out the Treeborn. They're going to Avarice back. A few cards now. It's going to get turned off by the Crow, surely. Yeah, I was going to say, surely it's going to get turned off by the Crow. Yeah, they're going to hit the dupe. Yep, and they're just going to pass it over. Draw for turn is Machina forced now. Yeah, so they are playing some Machina engine. Okay, pass. Draw for turn is a Mali. Yeah, now they've got it. Yeah, now they've got fusion into an Ab-Zero, tribute for the Vanny's Fiend. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Yeah, unfortunately, the BrainCon kind of just fucks this if they can get like another tribute summon or something out to out it. Okay, pass. Draw for turn is a Gear Frame. Yeah, I think you definitely... I was going to say I think you definitely search with the Gear Frame for a Fortress. It's also just like a big enough body. But they are just going to go with the flip-flop. Yeah, I mean... this doesn't really work here. Oh, it does work. It does work. But what I mean is, like, you pass over and they've just got Treeborn into Vanny's Fiend again. Okay, draw for turn is the other Malicious. That is really unfortunate. Okay, so flip-flop frog. Yeah, it's going to give them a turn of respite under... without the Vanny's Fiend, but let's see what they can do with that turn. So they're going to bring out the Treeborn, summon the Gear Frame search the Fortress. Yeah, they've got Fortress here. Yeah, this is a lot of damage. 18 and 25, going to leave them on 13. Sets the enemy controller. Yeah, this is nice with the Treeborn. And then, yeah, equips the Gear Frame. This feels okay. Yeah, this feels okay. Okay, they've got Equal. Yeah. Equal can grab Stratos. Stratos can add Ocean. They've got Poly now. Yep. Poly for the Ocean and the Mali. They keep using materials from hand. I don't understand why they're not using like the Treeborn. But yeah, this is fine. Yep. Ab-Zero is going to get into the Fortress, which is going to use the Gear Frame, and then Stratos going to get into the Treeborn, pass back, draw for turn is a Fortress. Okay, yeah, Econ now. yeah. Burnt Toast Theory just going to scoop. So Econ there, yeah. What are they doing? So they're going to just put this into attack mode and just beat into it, right? yeah, that is just going to work for game. But they've also got BrainCon, they've also got another Machina Fortress, access, so they could just crash this, summon out. They've got loads of lines they can do here. This is really cool. But yeah, they are just going for the simplest one, which is econ the Treeborn and beat into it, which is nice. Yeah, really cool match. Interesting decks. Considering these guys are really high rated, you don't normally expect to see like people like this on like such interesting decks. But Monarch is on some kind of frog, smoke screen into Machina frog side deck, or at least we think so. We saw enough of the deck in the first game and didn't see any Machina cards until game 2. And then this is just, this is like hero frog, but with like Polys and Morays and Pot of Avarice and King of the Swamp, really cool cards to see. Just trying to be as explosive as possible and, stick these ab zeros. And often when they're sticking them at like 3,500 or more. So they're really big, oppressive monsters, not just for the effect, but also just for the size of it when it does come out. So really cool match. Burnt Toast Theory, yeah, a bit of a misstep in game one. I think probably tilted them for the whole match, because it definitely would have for me. I'm wondering if the players at this level, fall folly to the same kind of mistakes that I would have, just been tilted for the rest of the match. But either way, it was a really cool deck and it was a really competitive match. This looked a bit insurmountable in game 3, but they weren't far off, sticking a lot of this stuff and then actually kind of clawing this one back. So really cool match, really good to see. Big win for Monarch there as they go even further up the ladder. We've seen Monarch work their way through top 200, top 100 now, being like top 10 player right now. So really good to see that. And yeah, Burnt Toast Theory no slouch either. But yeah, interesting to see a really competitive match between two of the top players with some really interesting deck choices. I'm not sure they're good. Definitely interesting though.